Hi there, this is Joanne from TrueAuthenticPower.com, and I'm also the creator of the program Catapulting to Confidence. I want to talk to you today about what am I doing wrong? Because I hear this from a lot of people, and I used to say the same exact thing, and it drove me crazy. I'm an educated person. I'm smart, have all these skills. I was good in sales. What the heck? Why couldn't I get back to that? For me, it might be very different from what was or is blocking you. But I want to give you some ideas of how the subconscious mind works, because just to say it's unconscious, it's subconscious, blah, 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 who cares, right? So I want to tell you how those things get locked and linked so that you at least can start to understand that you're not doing something wrong. You're actually in protection. So let's go back to, everybody says, oh, the past is over. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people say the past is over. Don't go back there. Go forward. Be in the present. Be in the now. The problem is when you link something that's problematic, dangerous, unsafe, worrisome, bothersome, trying to keep yourself out of trouble, when that has gotten linked and locked into your subconscious mind or your energy or both, you are not likely to just get past it. So let me explain a little bit about what I'm talking about. The job of the subconscious is to help you keep safe, to keep you safe, actually. So it will warn you when something is of danger. The problem is it can be warning you for things that were a one-time hit that now have gotten anchored into your energy that don't serve you. So let me give you some examples. If you got bit by a dog when you were a child, and now you have a fear of dogs, that's a perfect example of an anchoring. Something told you, stay away from dogs. I have to be fearful around dogs. They will hurt me. Now that's a real limited kind of situation because you just avoid dogs or birds or whatever it is that you're afraid of. Another angle, though, might be something that happened in school that can affect you, your business, your life, your career. So something like if you were made fun of or picked on in school for being too smart or not being smart enough, and now you've anchored that pain, the picked on, the laughed at, the, oh, you're so smart, you must be a geek, or, oh, you're just too lame, you can't do anything. Those are extremes, but I'm just trying to give you some examples of what could be in your way. So if you were made fun of or picked on in school like that, your subconscious, your unconscious has now anchored that as a, oop, check, keep that in mind for future reference. Don't get too smart. You'll be called a geek. You'll be made fun of. Don't show that you don't know. Kind of pretend. Act as if you feel like a fraud. Those things can get anchored from one incident. It doesn't take a long time. Sometimes it doesn't get anchored, but a lot of times, especially in early ages, especially before the age of 7, those things can get linked and locked and anchored in really well. Now, people understand the anchoring of you hear a happy song, you hear something, or you see a picture of a good memory, and all of a sudden you're, oh, that feels so good. That's an anchoring, but it doesn't get in your way. So you don't even really know how to use it, how to avoid it, there's no question of that you have to be fearful of it because it's a positive thing. But what happens when those memories get stuck and locked and anchored like that to something that's awful or pain and suffering? And you can be doing that with your business. You can be doing that with your career. You can be doing that with love. You can be doing that with anything that you're striving for that's not working. So I wanted to do this audio because just recently there was something in a group that I'm on, and the comment was, what am I doing wrong? I'm smart. I'm educated. I'm this. I'm that. I do all the right things. Why is this not working? I would suspect, because I have been in those shoes too, that the reason he's not going forward is because of a subconscious belief. Now, let me tell you how that could also affect you from something else that you're not anchoring or not seeing has been anchored to your energy. So if you were, if you were a doer and that kept you out of trouble, if you had parents that were always on you to be busy and helping, or you knew that was the way you could stay out of trouble, you may have become a list maker, a doer, that's what I need to do to stay out of trouble kind of person. And that can equate to being busy, to being, always doing, always having a list, always, always, always. It's subconscious. You don't even know you're doing it. But here's the thing. Busy is not necessarily proactive or productive. It's just busy. So that could be a way that's stopping you. If you got praised for being or doing or helping, you may have developed a pattern that says, I got to do for them, or to make them happy, I have to get into their, emotions, and what can I do for them to make them feel better or whatever, so that then I can get what I want. Do you see how some of these things start? And it's not conscious. We're not consciously aware of it, but they are so powerful. So I've seen so many people, I've had oodles of clients in my office telling me that I'm doing all the right things. Why are these things not working? I've had really intelligent, and I'm not talking, college level intelligence, just brilliant people, just really smart. You don't have to have a college degree to be brilliant and smart, but just suffice it to say, when I say I've had really brilliant people, I'm talking across the board, white collar, blue collar, young, old, it doesn't matter. But when you're stuck, you've got to get to those hidden beliefs that are underneath. And how do you do that? Well, when I talk about things, and because I've cleared up many of my own things, not only doing my own sessions myself with tapping, but also with a coach, I turn to the technique called EFT tapping. Now, I do a version of it, so it's not true EFT. It's a little bit off the beaten path, but similar enough. And man, it gets to subconscious beliefs in a blink. And it gets to the beliefs that you're hiding underneath that you don't even know you're hiding underneath. It's so powerful. It so gets to the point so that you don't have to buy the next book, the next program, the next how-to, the next this, the next that. You got to get to the subconscious roots. And how do those come up? Well, when you start talking about the things that you want, listen to what's in the way. For instance, I'd like to make an additional $5,000 a month. What's the first thing that your mind says? It's not possible. How am I going to make that happen? Not in the job I'm in. I don't know how to make that. I'm really stuck in my business. That's not possible. That'll never happen for me. It'll be too much work. Do you hear all the things that could go on a subconscious level that are saying, I don't want pain. So if it means a lot of work, I'm not going to do it because it'll be too painful. If I'm afraid I'll fail because I've got one of those beliefs that I was too dumb or stupid or not smart enough in grade school, you will block saying, I'm not smart enough. I can't do it. I need to learn more. The problem is you could be learning forever and never get off the mark. There are plenty of people who have done that. So what do you do instead? Well, you can start with learning EFT, and there are oodles of videos all over the internet about EFT tapping. The problem with doing that on your own is when you are in your own pattern, when you are in your own belief system, especially as a newbie, but not limited to newbies, you can't get to the deeper things. You may be triggered, but then you kind of get to a place of, oh, well, how do I do that? Because this is a skill set. This is not just a frivolous little, oh, let's try this little simple technique that I can do on my own. I'm suggesting to you how many people have said to me in client sessions, I didn't know that was in the way. Oh my goodness, I haven't thought of that in years. Because when you're in protection, what do? You're hiding from it. You're not willing to go there on a conscious or subconscious level. On a conscious level, you don't even know that problem exists, most likely. So I wanted to give some ideas of what am I doing wrong, because you might be doing everything right, but if your subconscious is not in alignment, you will not go forward, or going forward will be like pushing a wall or pushing through tons of fear. And when you clear those energetic attachments, those anchorings, like being bit by a dog, it's the same kind of thing. It just doesn't maybe apply to your everyday life that you have to worry about. But if you've got something that's attached to business, success, your career, love, things that are really in your everyday world that could be causing you pain, you don't have to get to those underneath, but I'm telling you, there is a way to do that will soothe and ease that path, bring joy to your journey, open up doors that you never knew could open up so quickly. Now, this isn't a magic bullet. Some of this processing is painful, and some of it will bring up things that you haven't thought of in a long time. I've worked with, people who said, "Oh, I had a great childhood." This isn't about not having a great childhood. This is about something that mistakenly got linked together. It's kind of like allergies. Now, I am not a health expert, and I'm not claiming to cure, diagnose, or treat here. Or let's talk about a gluten issue. Those things a lot of times are for the same reason. They're an anchoring to something that happened that then provided protection, or just a crazy anchoring or linking that got put together that you don't even know happened. When I tell people, or when I ask people, I should say, tell me, when did this start? What's been going on? They a lot of times can pinpoint after I keep asking, because the initial response is, "Oh, nothing's in the way. Nothing happened. No, I had a wonderful, blah, blah, blah." When you start asking more questions as a skilled coach and trainer, as a skilled educator about energy and subconscious blocks, you get to the things a lot faster, quicker, easier. Now, I'm not saying that you can't clear anything yourself with tapping, but think about it. If you're in a protective pattern, how likely are you going to be to even find it, let alone let it go? You've got to find a way to bridge to be safe. You've got to find a way to bridge to say it's okay to let this go, because you will never let it go with pushing, force, or fear. It will always be there in the back of your mind. You may get past it, you may push through it, but it's always going to be lingering there in the subconscious mind, in the back of your mind, whether you're conscious of it or not. And somewhere when you hit that trigger that's big enough, it will stop you dead in your tracks. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people suffering from that. And it breaks my heart when I hear some of the beliefs that people are saying to themselves, because I just want to be able to say to everybody, "Oh, no, you don't even know what you're doing or what you're saying." And it's not from a condescending, "I know better than you." It's from I've been in those shoes, and I know how much pain can be from hitting the same wall, realizing that you do have the skills and talents, but you can't get off the mark. It's so painful. It's so frustrating. It's costly. It's exhausting. And eventually people want to give up when they get to that point, because they think there's no hope or no way to change. I wanted to post this audio to say there's nothing wrong with you, but you've got some glitches that are attached, or some learnings that have been linked to something that you're saying is painful, that your conscious mind is saying, "But I want to go there. But I want to go there." You can get there. But my advice, my suggestion, not only being a person who went through all that for a long time, I might add, before I got the gist of how this works, I bought a lot of the products. I bought a lot of the books. I bought a lot of the how-tos. And I thought it was about finding the right task for my business. I thought it was about doing the right this or the right that, or finding the right way. No, it wasn't about that at all. It was about being comfortable with being able to go forward without the attachments that said this will cause you pain. That was my story. That's a lot of people's story. It's just that you've got to be able to find it. I hope this helps. I hope it brings some insight. Now, what do you do with that information? Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. My website is trueauthenticpower.com, and there is a video on the homepage that shows you about what tapping is. Now, I will admit it is a silly-looking technique, but what you're doing is you're changing the physicality of your energy. You're doing an emotional acupuncture without the needles. So you can learn to do this on your own, but to get to the deeper issues, a lot of times you're going to need some help. So you can go and learn what I'm talking about. The other thing is to start flushing up what you really believe, flushing out what you really believe, bringing up what you really believe. You can download my free download that's Design Your Life Now on about a third of the way down my homepage. And I start asking questions to see what you really think and what you really believe. But here's kind of the magic of that. This is not just a feel-good dream list. This is a I dream and oh no, I can't because list. And those I can't because will be your tapping targets. I really do hope this helps. I have been in that misery of what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why can't I? What's in the way here? I never really went to the why me, kind of thing about anything. But I always did feel like, what is the problem here? Why can't I? This is Joanne from TrueAuthenticPower.com. Until our paths cross again, bye-bye for now.